Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It is Brazil versus South Korea on the watch along tonight as the round of 16 rolls on at breakneck speed in this breakneck speed type World Cup. The Brazilians, as ever, seemingly every tournament, are the favourites, but the South Koreans have been absolutely tremendous. We loved them in their last game, defeating the Portuguese. Spectacular stuff. They have seen their heroic Asian counterparts, Japan, be knocked out earlier on today in our first penalty shootout in the tournament. Japan went out to Croatia, losing, as you can see down there, 3-1 on penalties. So we have now had 5 out of our 8 round of 16 matches. Netherlands going through against the USA, Argentina going through against Australia. Those two will play one another. France and England on a collision course. They both hit 3 last night. Earlier today, as I mentioned, Croatia through against the Japanese. And now it is the turn of the Brazilians against South Korea, which just leaves us 1 day's worth there down the bottom. Morocco, Spain tomorrow. I think we're doing Portugal, Switzerland in the evening. Looking forward to it. Always love watching the Brazilians at a World Cup. And of course, it is your turn to let me know exactly how you see this one going. Get your pre-game predictions in via the comments. And also, for the first time tonight, we will ask you, if you don't mind, hitting the like button. Get liking on the stream really helps us out, helps us reach as many people as we possibly can. And do say hello in the chat. Joe, Japan's penalties was not good. Japan missing 3 out of 4 penalties in the shootout today. Didn't make it hard for the Croats. It's a very exact science, penalty shootouts, as we know. Far from the lottery it's sometimes proclaimed to be. In Japan, bless them, they've been brilliant. They got it all wrong, didn't they? Greetings, Mr. E in the chat. Get your predictions in, guys, down there. We're going to get into the team news ASAP. Let's head over to FootMob and see what we've got. And a certain big-name Brazilian is making his return today, which I'm sure is going to excite the chat. I think you'll know who I am referring to. But let's do this Brazilian team. They rested a ton of players in the defeat in the last group game against the Cameroon, which they lost. But they are back to the first team, and the star player is indeed back in. In goal for the Brazilians, familiar face, Premier League superstar, Alisson between the sticks. Left back, Danilo of Juventus. Right back is Eder Militao of Real Madrid. Right centre back, Marquinhos of PSG. Left centre back, another Premier League player, Thiago Silva, 38 years old, of Chelsea. Another Premier League player, Casemiro of Manchester United. He scored in Brazil's second game. Another Premier League player is Lucas Paqueta of West Ham United. He's on my screen at the moment. Rafinha, formerly of Leeds United, now of Barcelona, will play down the right. The electric Vinicius Junior, another Real Madrid player there, down the left-hand side. And the main man is back. Neymar got injured in the first game. We thought he'd missed the groups and maybe a little bit more, but he is back. Neymar, maybe they play through him a little too much, but he is their talisman. He is their star man. Their star man in the first game was Richarlison, who scored that double, including that amazing flying volley. It's a strong team for Brazil, laced with stars. Neymar is back. And just when we always judge this, don't we? We read the clubs out of the teams that these fellas play for, just Champions League all the way through pretty much, wasn't it? On the bench for the Brazilians, let me know, by the way, who you're looking forward to seeing as ever in both of these sides. Anthony, Martinelli, Pedro, Rodrigo, Guimarães, Ribeiro, Fabinho, Fred, Dani Alves, Gleason, Bremner, Edison, Moraes, and Weatherton. Let's have a look at the South Koreans. Let's go to some comments first, though, before we do what we got up there in the chat. Phil, Korea will score but come up short. 3-1 Brazil. A shock for South Korea. They go out of left field. Stick my neck out and say Brazil win this one. Pele, do it well for him. Brazil, I think he is hanging on in there. We feared the worst about Pele a couple of days back from what we were told in the press. Right, South Korea, it doesn't look like there's barely any changes there, does it, from that glorious win? In goal, Seong-Gyu Kim. Down the right-hand side, right back, Moon-Hwan Kim. Left back is Jin-Soo Kim. And Young-Gwon Kim. And Min Jae Kim. That is a change. The Napoli man, I'm sure, didn't start the previous game against Portugal. In Hee-Chan Hwang is in central midfield with Woo Young-ju. On the right-hand side, Hee-Chan Hwang. Off the front there, Jae Sung Lee. The big superstar is obviously Heung-Min Son of Spurs. And the 2-goal hero back in the middle game of the groups was Gi Sung Cho. It was Hwang who got that late winner against the Portuguese. What a brilliant ending to that game it was. Excuse me if you're of the Asian persuasion. I will now butcher all the names on the bench. It is for the South Koreans: Chang Hoon Kwon, Min Kyu Song, Sang Ho Na, Ui Jo Hwang, Chul Hong, Jun Ho Song, Kang In Lee, Shong Ho Paik, Woo Yong John, Jong Gyu Yen, Kyung Wong Kong, Tai Hwan Kim, Yu Min Cho, Bum Kun Song, and Hyun Woo Cho. Let me know who you are looking forward to seeing, particularly 3 of those forward players there. Cho, Son, and Hwang have all made a big impact. And I think Son Heung-min or Heung-Min Son, whichever way around, we're going, generally acknowledged as a world-class player. Evening, Hamza. Rafs do well. I'm sure he will. He's got a good cast around him, Mick, hasn't he? Going to be a long night for my commentary. We will try our best and almost hope that we get 65% to the Brazilians, Joe, in that respect. And the Brazilians are now belting out the national anthem as we speak. Painting the walls of my new car detailing. Oh, get a picture in of that, John. That sounds a car detailing studio. Tweet, DM me a picture of that, John. I'd love to see that when it's done. Ewan wants 5 goals. I think we all want 5 goals. And the Brazilians, they always deliver in the World Cup. They are, and especially after the Germans' last 2 performances. Good evening, Nick. They are the gurus, aren't they, of the World Cup? I know we've made a lot of their population being way greater than a lot of the nations in the tournament. But the Brazilians have been kings. They are 5 times champions. Although they did win in 94 and 2002, they have not won it since 2002. And that, of course, includes a tournament on home soil, which always tends to be quite the advantage if you're able to leverage it. I don't think Qatar were ever going to. The South Korean lads singing the national anthem here. Gives me a chance to have some coffee. Get your predictions in before we start. I am on the Brazilians, I have to say. I think the South Koreans have been brilliant, but I think I put the bracket in here earlier. Did I? Is that an up-to-date one? Look, England aren't on it, but there you go. We are starting to get the big nations now in the last 8, as we said. Netherlands, Argentina are already through. England, France already through. Croatia were favourite against Japan. If Brazil go through today, then all we're left with tomorrow is Morocco, Spain, Portugal down the bottom there versus Switzerland. And as we suggested, it's all very well upsets in the group games, but how many of the big boys will still be standing in the final 8, the final 4? The answer is lots of them in the end. Yes, we lost Germany. Yes, we lost Belgium, but in the end, those big nations do tend to dominate, don't they? 3-0 Brazil. Do you think it'll be a comfortable one? And can Brazil get at least 65, 70 minutes out of Neymar? They're not going to want him to go 120 minutes. First extra time in the tournament earlier on today as Croatia went through on penalties. First penalty kicks as well. Then we get to hit the like button. ITV, I don't think it's the turbo break. I think it's the last advert before we go through. Mick, 3-0 Brazil. Has to be a shock sooner or later. You would think there'll be one at some point, although, Joe, once we get to those quarterfinals, if it is lined up, as we've said, and there are no, quote, smaller nations, the flag kind of being flown by maybe Morocco now, tomorrow, and South Korea today. And then I think it's all about the big nations then after that. I think Switzerland may have the best chance of an upset. Yeah. I mean, Switzerland are decent, aren't they? You wouldn't quite put them in the Japan or Korea or Saudi, who have all had big upset wins. But yeah, I take the point. We are just getting ready to kick off. The FIFA graphics showing us that 4 of the South Korean starters are on yellow cards. Remember, amnesty after the quarterfinals, so we don't have those suspensions from yellow cards tacked on in the semi-finals, as would have happened to Paul Gascoigne back in 1990, I'm sure. We all remember. Alistair, good evening, sir. The South Koreans have just got out of their huddle. Brazil are still in theirs. Evening, Matthew, as well. Looking forward to Netherlands v Argentina. Oh, yes. That is a classic World Cup clash, isn't it? Brilliant stuff. Imagine Brazil do this for Pele. What the whole tournament, there is that narrative now floating around with the worrying news about Pele's, maybe the greatest World Cup player ever, actually, Pele, in terms of what he did. We are off and running on ITV1 HD. Remember, I'm watching on the dish. If you're watching on ITV Hub or on your smart TV, you might be a bit behind. So we will get you a timestamp as is practicable, hopefully after about 1 minute, and get yourself lined up. I will attempt to bang through the teams real quick for you, although Brazil nearly sliding Richarlison through there inside 30 seconds. Korea just getting their foot on the ball for the first time, actually playing through the lines nicely to Son. Here is Chu up top, and they try to get it out wide. Very open first 45 seconds of this game, let's just say. Both teams going for a killer pass within minute number 1. Right, here comes your timestamp, guys. We're going to be at 1 minute in. 3, 2, 1, sync. Get yourself lined up. Remember the chat, even if you pause me or pause yourself, the chat will still be in real time if you want to avoid spoilers. But I wouldn't avoid the chat. It's the best bit, isn't it? Long one forward into the channel. Vinicius trying to bring it down. He cannot. A shock for Korea. Well, we would love to see a big shock, wouldn't we? Brazil win. It's been predicted by a time traveller. Right, so yeah, those teams again quickly. Alisson in goal for Brazil, Militao and Danilo, the fullbacks, Marquinhos and Silva, the centre-backs, Paqueta, Casemiro, double pivot, Rafinha right, Vinicius left, Neymar 10, and Richarlison up top for the Koreans. Song-Kyu Kim in goal. They're all Kims in the back four. Jin-Soo Kim left back, Moon Hwan Kim right back, Min Jae Kim and Young Gwon Kim are the centre backs. Inbum Hwang and Woo Young Jun are the double pivot. Hee-Chan Hwang of Wolves front right. Jae Sung Lee is coming up as front left. I don't know if the GPS has caught Son in the 10 position. Footmob has moved him, so we'll see. And Gi Sung Cho up top. Keep your eye on Son. He does look like he's playing in the number 10 spot, doesn't he? We normally see him coming in from the left. Well, he's out on the left-hand side now. Son has it nicked off him by Rafinha. Knocked inside to Casemiro. And here is the first touch for Neymar. Vinicius on the left wing. Tries to give and go there. And cleared. Pele knocked Wales out in 58. Kind of knocked England out in 1970 as well, didn't he, as well? Fu Kim Hell. Yeah, that's how it is to try and go through all of these names. But we try and respect everybody's culture and do our best to get the names right. However tricky it is for little Englander like me. Poor ball there by Rafinha. Extravagant chest trap there, kind of flipping it upwards and tried to slide it into West Ham's Paqueta. Overhit it gravely there. It was the South Korean that played for Man United. Oh, Ji-sung Park. And a lot of people speak very highly of him. Always had a tactical role in all the big games he would start, wouldn't he? Had a flashback of that crazy day in the Euros that Spain, Croatia, France and Switzerland. Was that on the same day? Oh, that was scary. Where do you think Cov will play? I think Cov will get it sorted out. I've done a video on commentary earlier today. So if you want to get your head around all the nonsense going on there and their stadium issues, hopefully I've got it all right and that'll work as some kind of an explainer. Casemiro out to Vinicius. Vinicius inside. Neymar. Feint. Shifted across. Paqueta. Casemiro. Poor ball. And a foul by Rafinha on the left back. One of the many Kims at the back, Jin-Soo Kim. Mike Ashley really is something else. It does seem a rather aggressive move, doesn't it? If you either want to sell or you want more rent, to go with the eviction strategy first. But yeah, I'm sure it'll hopefully work itself out in a more sensible way. Evening. Helen, you haven't missed much yet, my dear. 5 minutes gone. And yeah, we're starting to get lots of games moved to 2 p.m. now. Might help my work shift out on Saturday if that's the case. We normally have a mad 2 hours between 5 and 7, but if all the games are a little bit earlier, that will help. No end. Ooh. Son nearly managed to pounce on that. Referees pulled it back. Yeah, the flag went up. I think it was Cho who was a bit slow in coming back into an onside position. Here at right back for Brazil, Militao, Marquinhos, Silva, Neymar, Silva, Militao, Rafinha. Oh, lovely feet by Rafinha. Casemiro underhit that one, didn't he? But Rafinha's so quick. He's got around the back. Rafinha into the box. Rafinha puts it in low. He's got all the way onto the back. Vinicius curls it in to the far corner. They'd started well, Brazil, and with their first decent chance of the game, Brazil take the lead. It was worked by Rafinha down the right-hand side. Everyone went to the near post. The cross missed everyone. Vinicius is there on his own. He really takes his time. Touch, right foot, bends it all the way around into the far corner. And those Brazilians are in a huddle, bouncing up and down. They are 1-0 up. And as things stand, very much headed for the quarterfinals. Get your comments in on that one. It had been a decent start. Some frankly horrendous dancing in the celebration, but hey, who am I to rain on their parade and their joy? Vinicius with his second goal in the tournament. We're going to get a look now. Lovely feat by Rafinha, first off in the move. Hopefully they'll show us him going into the box. Here we go now. And he just put the afterburners on, over-committed there, the left back. Get a little bit lucky. He's trying to find Neymar on the near post. Once it goes through them, it just rolls perfectly for Vinicius. But hey, look, I say they get a bit lucky. One winger is taking people on, going into the box, dribbling. The other one is in there on the back stick. It's really composed, isn't it, given how many bodies there are there. He has a long think about that, Vinicius. Touch. Waits for the ball to settle. It's really good, actually, isn't it? Because it's bobbling, and then he just strokes it into the far corner of Real Madrid. Man, Brazil lead 1-0. Rafinha leads legend. And here goes Rafinha, leads legend again. So composed. Great goal. Absolutely. Rafinha stands still now on the corner flag, knocks it back. Militao, Paqueta, oh, lovely little disguise ball inside Casemiro. Neymar. Vinicius going down the line. Neymar. Danilo's foul on Neymar. We'll count these up today. I know Neymar does look like a bit of a roll around, but he really did get the crap kicked out of him in the first game, didn't he? You do need the referee to look after the players that are where the opposing team are taking it in turns to foul them and knock them about a little bit. Free kick then to the Brazilians. 9:25 on the clock. They lead 1-0. Vinicius Jr. with the goal that will send Brazil through to play Croatia, who won earlier on. Free kick taken short. They had something planned there. Didn't quite come off. Alisson comes way out of his goal just to knock that back to the centre half. So there's a big direct one in, headed away, only as far as Neymar on the right wing. Neymar, drop of the shoulder. Casemiro out to Vinicius. Brazil are dominating this, aren't they? I'll bring the stats up in a sec. Penalty. Oh, dear. Richarlison just snuck round the back of his man. It's so clumsy, isn't it? And this is getting away from the South Koreans. Now, I've not seen a replay. It looked a nailed-on penalty to me on first look. He just doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know where Richarlison is. It's a wild swipe. Oh, no, it's a definite penalty, isn't it? Richarlison just nicks it away. It's definitely not going to be overturned, is it? And down he goes. It's a penalty for Brazil. And we could be about to get a Neymar goal. Oh dear, indeed. Brazil leading 1-0 already. It looks like Rafinha actually is going to take the kick, unless he's just going to spot it. We've seen this a few times now where the actual penalty taker doesn't come in until the last minute to avoid all the mind games. Referee just talking to Neymar, who could not look calmer. Looks like he's taking one at 6-a-side at the local sports hall, doesn't he? Neymar, it's going to be right footer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be quite a big run up, actually. I think he's going to do a stuttery run. The big star of the Brazilian team, Neymar. Referee, rightly, just having a word with Seung-Yu Kim in goal. Remember, he needs to have any part of one foot over the line when the ball is kicked. And he's okay. Overhanging again is okay, as we discussed at length the other day. The whistle goes. Kim is playing the mind games. He stood right over to one side of his goal, actually. Here comes Neymar. Stutters. Right-footed. Scores. The keeper really overthought himself there. He tries to go from the right-hand side to the middle of the goal. Neymar was too cool, too calm. He was having none of it, and Brazil are 2-0 up within 12 minutes. They're absolutely coasting this one. They've been dominant. South Korea have barely had themselves a kick in this game. Have they? Neymar gets the second, the Brazilian superstar. 7 goals in 12 World Cup matches, says the graphic on the screen. And it's just absolutely dominant from the Brazilians. This is going to change these numbers here quickly. Obviously, the penalties 0.77 on the XG. But look more at South Korea. 26 passes is all they've managed to complete so far in the game. 0 shots. It's just been all Brazil, 70% on the possession. And yeah, I think the keeper would be disappointed with that. He really overthought it, didn't he? Just stand in the middle, make the striker make the play sometimes, and he's flat on his backside, virtually in the middle of the goal. There, Sung Kyu Kim, and Brazil lead 2-0. Easy so far for the 5 times champions. Brazil are going to the quarterfinals to play Croatia. Unless we see something really miraculous from the South Koreans. There's the bracket. Sorry, I took that one yesterday, so England aren't quite on there. But Netherlands, Argentina, England, France. And we're looking at Croatia and Brazil in that top half of the draw. Great pen. Yeah, keeper made a bit of a meal of it, but he did his job, didn't he? He did his job. Oh, hefty one in the back there on Militao. No foul given, actually. Fair contact deemed. Militao's teammates didn't like that. They careered into the pressing straight after, defending the honour of their teammate there. And not that the Brazilians, not that it's in their nature to sit back, but they can certainly, let the South Koreans come onto them a little bit now, and they would hope exploit the big spaces that have to be left now if South Korea aren't just going to go home on a whimper. Played down the line, completely overhit there. Hwang was not going to be able to keep that one in. And it is going to be a throw-in to Brazil. There is the look in one corner, stick it in the other corner penalty from Neymar. 15-27. South Korea now just getting their first sort of meaningful touches, really. After a bit of a going over in the first 12 minutes of this game. Here's Vinicius. Nicely won back, though, by Moon Hwang Kim. Here is Woo Young Jung. Knocks it out down the left wing. Inside came Hwang. Tried to find Chu. Oh, Hwang hits the shot. What a great strike that was. God, when he hit that, I thought, okay, well, fine. But that's a brilliant strike there. Good save by Allison. I think that's definitely going in the top corner, isn't it? Really good strike that. Good save, Allison. South Korea coming quite close to getting one back there. Corner's taken short. Nice little drag inside. Another long ranger. Not quite on the same wavelength there. In-boom Hwang with the left foot. Blast that one over the bar. We just get another look at that shot and save. Goes with his right hand over the top there, diving to his left. Allison, I think he had it covered all the way, but certainly a decent strike, wasn't it? I missed the first 15, decorating the tree. Yeah, you've missed a bit of a siege from the Brazilians, I have to say. They've been dominant, really, well, for the first 12 minutes. just been sat back a bit chilled out for the last 5, having gone 2-0 up. Vinicius and then Neymar from the penalty spot. Brazil 2, South Korea 0. We can do your timestamp very, very shortly. We'll be at 18 minutes and about 25 seconds. So we'll do a proper one there. You can get hooked up. Casemiro, excuse me, Silva, Casemiro, Danilo, Neymar popping up all over the place now. Lots of license. Vinicius, lovely feet. Was he fouled as well? I think refs let that one go. Sorry, I missed the timestamp. 18:07, if you can cope off that. When is the right time to put the tree up? I'll leave that to the chat because everybody disagrees on that, don't they? The answer is you put it up when the hell you please and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You do you. Casemiro, Vinicius, Casemiro, Danilo. Oh, excuse me. He's further forward. Casemiro to Neymar. Back in it goes to Marquinhos. Strides out. Paqueta. Well, not the greatest pass you'll ever see that. He had no chance of keeping that in. It's a throw in to South Korea, who were quite heroic, weren't they, in their late win against Portugal. We loved covering that on the channel, but it looks like they are off home. Well, unless they can get something back before half-time, preferably, and then give themselves a chance in the second half. But at 2-0 down, it is so hard. Children will tell parents. There you go. Who's in charge, eh? Neymar. Vinicius now. High turnover for Brazil. Vinicius goes down. No foul given. Oh, nice work in central midfield. And now we've got the Koreans coming forward. Lee down the right-hand side. Across it goes. They work this into a crossing position. Disappointing. Just ran into trouble there. They've won it back, though. And it's out onto the right back, Kim. He goes back inside. Brazil, everybody back. And behind the ball. Well, I haven't got the problem that the kid tells me what to do, but the kid does dictate everything. I have to say that. I don't even want to say indirectly. It's very directly. We march to the beat of her little drum. Speaking of drumming, there are the Brazilians in carnival mode, having a lovely bounce up and down. Shot Korea win, looking strong. Yeah. The hope has disappeared fast, hasn't it, for the South Koreans here. As I say, they just need to stay in the game now through this half. And you never know, if you can get something before half-time, then it sets up the second half where the momentum can swing a little bit. But, yeah, it looks... I'd love to see what the odds are now and if anybody's taking them on South Korea qualifying from this particular knockout game here. Casemiro, Paqueta steps over it. Here's Rafinha. Rafinha to Paqueta. Getting plenty of touches. Casemiro. Just a few unforced errors from the midfield duo for Brazil. Throwing then to the South Koreans as we reach the midway point in the first half. Chu does well up top. Just to backheel it literally through Militao. Poor clearance, though. South Korea trying to keep the pressure on. There is just that nagging feeling for me that Brazil are just sitting back for the time being, and they'll be at it again very, very soon. 100-1 for a South Korea win. Doesn't feel like good value, does it? David, evening. Look late to the party. Sense it could be game over already. You sense correctly, my friend. Up the line it goes to Vinicius. The only thing the Brazilians really can do on top of what they've done already is stick a marker down and, really put an incessant performance on. But there is something to be said for, if you feel the game's won, save your energy. Oh, swung in right-footed. Oh, keeper could catch that one, couldn't he? Kim elects to punch. Here's Rafinha trying to get through. Been doubled up on, but out it goes to Son, who draws a foul from Casemiro. Interesting bit of goalkeeping there from Song Yu Kim. Suppose it keeps the game flowing, doesn't it? The punch rather than the catch, but maybe put a bit of unnecessary pressure on his defence there. Here is Hwang down the left-hand side. Had that lovely dipping shot. They've done well, actually, to release Kim. Puts a cross in, deflects up in the air. It's going to be a corner to the Koreans, who probably for the last 10 minutes have been the better side, haven't they? Again, I reiterate, game state is a big part of that. The fact that it was 2 and Brazil may or may not have just sat back for the immediate past. Corner then to Korea, which Son is going to take. Gives the signal, takes the kick, and it goes near post. Header out is by, his Spurs teammate, in fact, Richarlison. Another long-range strike by the South Koreans. That one is Hwang as well. Much, much easier for Alisson to save. Just could have stood still and it would probably just hit him. Just sidesteps over and easily gathers the ball. Early ball there, trying to get Vinicius in all the way through to Kim in goal. And here come Korea down the right-hand side. Kim, the inside centre-back. Yong-Gwon Kim, that is. Oh, Casemiro, beautiful pass. Now they are 3-on-3. Neymar, Vinicius arriving up to his left. Neymar going on his own. Neymar into the box. Selfish from Neymar there. He had an easy reverse ball there on to Vinicius. And he went right and into trouble. But he has won a corner. Taken short. Here is Neymar again. Casemiro. Rafinha. Paqueta. It's out to Vinicius. Korea back on the ball now. And it's fed up to the right wing. Oh, they tried to switch it quickly. It's given away again. Rafinha thought about knocking that 10 yards ahead of him and running. Thought better of it. Neymar, a little pirouette. Out it goes to Vinicius, who gets into the box. Cross charge down. I'm sure Neymar actually used the referee then. Ref got in his way. Neymar quickly turned back, and the ref was therefore then in the South Koreans' way. Greedy Neymar. Yeah, it wasn't great, was it? Do we know which championship clubs have moved back yet? We are finding out as we speak, aren't we, whether EFL kickoffs are going to be moved back en masse or it's going to be a game by game, I think, isn't it? Corner, Brazil, Neymar headed clear. Rafinha. Vinicius crosses near post, headed clear again. First time ball on the volley out to Qatar on the right wing. Dancing feet by him. Silky. Cross comes in, half cleared. Falls out of the sky, and Richarlison does 2 head-ups. A kick-up, manages to play it inside. Oh, wow. What a goal by the Brazilians. Oh, goodness me, that is utter filth. Started with Richarlison heading the ball up in the air 3 times, 2 kick-ups, and then the speed of the passing after that. Richarlison gave it to his left, made the run through, and the way the ball was given back to him was just glorious. Let me see the replay so I do it justice, but probably the goal of the tournament scored just there by the Brazilians. Just got to thought England's goals were good last night, but that was something else, wasn't it? If FIFA can give us a replay, we can coo over that a little bit more. Third goal for Richarlison. He can join our... they got the manager to join in the silly dancing celebration as well. Nice, if you like that sort of thing. We can put Richarlison on the list. Can we please see a replay of that goal? Right, here we go. So here's Richarlison. 1 head, 2 head, 3 heads, 1 kick up, 2 inside, reverse ball, first time pass through, bang, bang, goal. It's so good, isn't it? Koreans just watching as the ball stroked into the net by Richarlison. Lovely, lovely goal. And Brazil, 3-0 up. I said, didn't I? Okay, they're sitting back. They'll probably go again in a minute. And that they did. And Richarlison is having a spectacular goals of the World Cup competition by himself after that flying volley in the first game. God, Brazil are 4-on-4 here. This could get really nasty for South Korea. Vinicius, it could be 4 down by half time, couldn't they? Inside it goes. Rafinha. Rafinha drives the shot over the bar. Not like that, they won't be, but let's have a look and see what you guys are saying about that. Brilliant game over. Too good. Disgusting. Brazilian first gear and cruising. Awesome. Here we go. Shouldn't be allowed. Blimey. That's just cocky. Going well at 61. Oh, T-Town is dancing. Yeah, very nice. Hit me with them new words. Get the subs on already if Neymar's ankle's a bit iffy. Who do you think's going to be runners up? Well, yeah. Maguire would have kicked him in there. To be fair, Hwang did, as he was doing the third head up, he did try and head it away from him, but Richarlison was too good, wasn't he? Got it down. It was then just popped inside. Casemiro, I think it was the fullback possibly. Was it Militao who was up and then Casemiro first time through? It was just so far. Bang, bang. And even in the time they'd spent playing those 2 first-time passes, Richarlison had sprinted through, literally perfect the way they timed it. And all of a sudden, poor Korean backline, she's like, oh, what? And they're in. Son. And it goes to Hwang. Oh, into the box. Done really well. I think his teammate ran across his path then. Oof. They're still attacking here, Korea, which is admirable, but they may need to be a bit too careful that they don't get emotional chasing the game at 3-0 down and it goes 4 and then 5, as we've seen. As the Brazilians saw against the Germans, where they're trying their best to fight back and the Germans just kept scoring in that crazy 7-1. Gareth Southgate, don't worry, Ben. Sitting next to the lads now watching the game. We'll beat these guys easy. Thank you. Gareth Southgate in the chat. Everybody. Silva. Marquinhos. Militao. Casemiro. Neymar. Paqueta. What are they doing? Neymar. Paqueta. Rafinha. Simple game, isn't it? Paqueta. Neymar. Count the passes now. Paqueta. Oh, poor old South Korea. Just not bothering to press now. Don't want to get suckered up the pitch, but Brazil are just knocking it in and out and back and forth, aren't they? Neymar, Casemiro, Silva, Marquinhos. This is probably about 20, 25 passes by now, isn't it? And it goes to Silva, Neymar. Oh, God, there's just space everywhere, isn't there? Here comes Vinicius. Going to have a dribble. There's the reverse ball. Rafinha, it must be 50 passes by now. Rafinha sorts his feet out, knocks it back. Paqueta. There's the shot. Well, we may as well have packed up if they'd have scored from that after all of those passes. But yes, Brazil are taking the piss, aren't they? Really, yeah, training ground, keep ball stuff. 250-1 for a South Korea win. I think we can see why. Recall Stuart Pearce for a cameo. If we play them, yeah. We'll worry about France for now. And it's so difficult, isn't it? Because people will go, oh, it's only South Korea. But two things can be true. An opponent can be an underdog, but the favourite can also play well at the same time. Foul by Casemiro on Chu. Free kick taken early out to Hwang. Hamza got a hunch. Brazil might win this one. You do? Might have to explain that to me. I don't think I get my head around that one. Bloody French are this good as well. They're good in a different way, aren't they? I guess the French. Hell hath no fury like Brazil when they're 2-0 up. God. Start playing the Olay beach football, don't they? Here's that goal again. Hope they play this in real time. 1, 2, 3, touch. Such a good goal, that. Even the first touch from Richarlison to kill it with his right foot is just lovely, and sticks it in with his left foot. Here they come again. Richarlison carrying it. Neymar. Vinicius. Rafinha arriving at the back post. Vinicius holds it up. Vinicius, little dink. Ball volleyed. Oh, my goodness me. Paqueta arriving behind everyone has volleyed it into the corner, and Brazil are absolutely on fire. It's 4-0. They are battering the poor South Koreans. They're playing brilliantly as well. Goodness me. I mean, the coaches of South Korea are having a discussion. There's nothing you can do, lads. Come on. This lot are just taking the mick, aren't they? They're kind of playing on the counter-attack now, and they're really enjoying it as well. And Vinicius there, you think, is he going to try and power right through? No, and then it's the little dink, and Paqueta arriving. He's still dancing away, isn't he? Loving life. But it is 4-0. Here's the replay from FIFA. Lovely little dink up. Just on the volley into the net. Proper Super Samba style from Brazil. Far too easy. Far too good. And they are cruising their way into the quarterfinals. We said that at 2-0, 3-0 and 4-0. But there we go. The front line's so fluid. It's too much, isn't it? I'd like to see one cup set in the last 16. Well, I think you're looking at tomorrow now, aren't you? Like you say. Stop the damn match. Pray for thee. Brazil sometimes used to training to R&B and soul. They're playing like they're training to R&B and soul. How did the exam go? Good. Yeah, we've had a few bad. Oh no, here they come again. It's look, just get a foot on the ball. Can we let the ref blow for half time at 37 minutes? God. If the pass had been decent there, they were in a game, Brazil, for 5-0. Here's Hwang. The problem I've got here is, look at Korea. I don't want to go on Mick McCarthy on this. Here's Son, by the way. Son. Give and go. I think Son's going to get it back. Edge of the box. Nice feet. Good play by Son. Have they drawn a foul? No. I was just going to say, this is not, right, let's get compact. Let's get a couple of banks of 4 and, let's go 10 minutes without conceding any chances or whatever. They're still quite open, so there is a chance that Brazil could rattle in another 2 or 3 goals. And again, as much as I admire what the Koreans' intentions are, they could be leaving themselves open for an absolute maul in here. Like I say, a 6 or a 7. Here is Son. Son inside. It's with the left back. Kim goes inside. Going to have a long-range shot. No, nicely disguised. Oh, we might have a penalty there. And no. It's one of those. And get up. Spin by Hwang. Runs into his man. Referee was having none of it. I think he thinks Hwang went down a little bit too easy. 500 to 1. There you go. I feel bad for South Korea. I think we all do, don't we? All I can envision is that Simpsons meme, stop, he's already dead. It feels like it, doesn't it? Ref needs to stop this. This is just sad. Brazil's 4th goal in the 70th year. That's the goal. Vinicius, stop it. Come on. Just flips the ball over the defender's head and kind of runs off the pitch while Vinicius just stood there. Pulls out the scars. Backheeled by Neymar. It's a foul on Richarlison. Not given. Brazilian show-offs. As another Rhea said, they're on a highway to hell. Well, I think that might have been AC/DC. I think Chris Rhea was a road to hell, wasn't it? But that's me being very pedantic. And I hate pedants, Stefan. So I'll stop there. Pedantry is the last vestige of the witless. Good quote I heard the other day. Stop it. It's naughty, isn't it? I suppose the Brazilians would argue they got done 7 by the Germans in a semi-final as well, didn't they? So it could be worse on home soil. I think Germany scored like 4 goals in 5 minutes in that game as well, didn't they? Neymar. Silva. Militao. Rafinha. Chris Rhea was too busy driving home for Christmas to watch this match. Can't be too busy to watch this match. It's been jolly entertaining, but I do feel the discomfort at 4-0 when they're looking like they could score as many as they want. I get it. But the quality of certainly goals 3 and 4 was right on point, wasn't it? Son has gone down. They're trying to claim it's a head injury. I think they're going to get a bit lucky here, the Koreans. Brazil literally stopped playing. I think he just got a shoulder in the face, did he? He's already wearing the mask. Hueng-Min Son. Is he still driving home? He's out there somewhere, bless him. The great Chris Rhea. He's coming home for Christmas. Just can't wait to see them faces. And it's been so long. Doo-doo. I've been home with you. I'm driving home for Christmas. Son is okay, as we all kind of knew already that he was. Fair dues to those Korea fans. Still chanting and getting behind their teams. Despite the fact it is 4-0 to the Brazilians. Right, a bit of space for the Koreans to work with now. See if they can get this ball moving. Brazil at sort of jogging pace here. Worked inside from the right. There's the cross to the back stick. Easy header away by Militao. Won by Richarlison. Lovely little dummy by Rafinha. Ouch. The yellow card is coming out for that body check on Rafinha. There's the apology from Hueng-Min. It was he who fouled Richarlison for the penalty for 2-0. The rest of us are screwed. Hey, they're all one-off games. They're all knockout games. Anything can happen. They're just naughty Brazil. I know it's Korea, but still impressive. Agreed on all counts. There's one in the corner. We're all driving home for Christmas next week. Lovely. Get the Michael Bublé Christmas album on. Maybe some John Barrowman. The Mariah Carey album. Get the Phil Spector one on. Get some Cliff Richard in the mix there as well. A good old English Christmas journey. Get some Hark the Herald Angels Sing going. Some Oh Holy Night. You love to see it. My feed is frozen there for a second. All I see is the ball flying through to Allison, who gathers that as we come up to half time. Hope for the Koreans' sake we get a +1 here rather than a +2, 3 or 4. What do we got? Oh, God. Here's Richarlison. Paqueta. Rafinha. Rafinha slides it through. They're in. Paqueta. Oh, it's a dreadful finish. Oh, he's trying some ridiculous Romario pirouette over it outside of the left foot finish. It was virtually a tap-in with his right foot there. It's such a waste. Dear oh me. Should have been 5-0 there, shouldn't it? I don't know if Brazilians do the whole, look, come on, take it seriously and yell at him at halftime for that. Oh, man, there's 5 minutes stoppage time. We've already played 43 seconds of it. And hopefully we get a replay and see what on earth Paqueta was trying here. He was onside. Yeah, he tries to kind of step over it with the right foot and hit it with the outside, no look with his left foot. Even if he just clipped it to the back post, it's two arriving is a hell of a waste. But here they come again. Vinicius into the box. Vinicius, across it goes. Oh, Rafinha. Oh, this... I could score any amount here. Clipped up across the box. Rafinha, just too high for him, wasn't it? Should have gone with his head at that, shouldn't he? A savage beating being handed out to the poor old South Koreans here. But look at that from Thiago Silva. Oh, instead of clearing that, the ball bounces and he just half volley back heels it. They are quite fun to watch when they're taking the mick. Not that I would want to be on the wrong end of it. If this was England 4-0 down at half-time to Brazil, I would not be enjoying this. I would be endorsing stiff tackles for anyone doing tricks like that, hey? Oh, nicely fed into the front, and Rafinha again. Rafinha, Neymar. Oh, lovely feet by Neymar. Nearly Oh, they're trying to score the perfect goal now. Neymar tried the little drag back and flip between the two, run the other way. Didn't quite manage to finish that one off. Oh, dear. Try and see this trick again. Oh, it would have been glorious if he'd pulled it off. But he didn't. Neymar, stop it. Brazil could get 10 in this game. I think there's this unwritten rule, don't they, that everyone stops before double figures and they can't do it to their fellow pros. George Michael need to stop giving away his heart on the same. Yeah, foolhardy from good old Georgios Michailopoulos or whatever his name was. Oh, man. Here's Richarlison. He's got acres of space. Richarlison's in. Oh, what a miss. Oh, what are they doing? Right. I know we get, like if you're a YouTuber, you get done for exaggerating. This is not, Brazil should be 8-0 up. That's not an exaggeration in the slightest. They've had so many chances. It's not even funny. Even in the last couple of minutes, they've just missed another 3 one-on-ones virtually. Oh, man. Just need to get to halftime, stop the flow, and try and come out a little less shell-shocked. South Korea. But as I keep saying, they're still attacking and they're still open. They only know how to play one way, don't they? Oh, they might make a chance here, though, from a Brazilian mistake. Back to the edge of the box. In goes the cross. 2 on the back stick. Oh, it's headed away, though. There's the recycle. It's the right back. Moon Hwang Kim has got it. Here's Son, edge of the box. He'll shoot, won't he? No. And here comes another counter-attack. Richarlison is fouled. I hate the word naive. I really hate the word naive. It's a horrible word, isn't it? But surely what Korea are doing here is suicide if it's not naive. I hate the word suicide as well. Another 1v1 miss. I mean, it's a decent save. He should have absolutely no hope, should he? But oh, man. How did he miss? It's like 5-a-side for them here. Taking the P now. They have been for about 30 minutes now, haven't they? God. What were the centre-backs doing? Well, this is my point, Hamza, is that you could be on for like a record-breaking defeat. And, I mean, I feel so sorry for the South Koreans, especially after their brilliant win last time. You can see their body language. They're absolutely sort of, you know, when you're kind of in shock on the pitch and you can't run and you're terrified to do anything. But they just need to get in, have a bit of peace and quiet for 5 minutes, and just a simple team talk, I think, from the manager, just to, you know, try and pep things up a little bit again, and they can try and make a better go of it in the second half. And let's be fair, a better go of it would be conceding just 2 goals instead of 4 and losing 6-0, wouldn't it? But look, let's have a look at the numbers. They're going to be absolutely ugly, aren't they? Get your comments in, by the way. We can do some halftime Q&A. You can comment on the game, even though it's probably the easiest game to analyse of the entire tournament. We don't need too much groupthink and sharing of ideologies to figure out what's happened in this game, do we? Sometimes we do, but second half predictions in, which would probably be, will the second half go anything like the first half? If it does, that ain't good for the South Koreans. Let's bring those numbers up. Oh, my God. Look at that big chances stat. 5 big chances in one half. I don't know what FootMob's ranking, where their watermark is for what the XG needs to be for it to be a big chance. But this is why I'm saying I haven't exaggerated. Brazil have scored 4, as you can see, 3 big chances missed. So I said they could easily have been 8. Even if they'd scored the 3 big chances they've missed, it would be 7. It's not massively out of kilter on the possession, is it? Considering Brazil at 2-0 sat back for a little while, didn't they? 2.69 at halftime on the XG is monumentally high as well, isn't it? And Brazil are going through. Other than the biggest story, would genuinely be the biggest story in football history if South Korea would come back now, wouldn't it? So let's say Brazil are through, and you're going to play Croatia in the Brazil. Can someone fact check me? I don't recall. Have Brazil and Croatia met in the World Cup before? Croatia have only really been on the scene. When was the unification, the opposite way around? The splintering there in those former Soviet states. I think it was after 1990, wasn't it? So I'm pretty sure I've never seen Brazil and Croatia in the World Cup. Fact check me. It'll probably be a really obvious game where they have met, but I can't remember. As long as they didn't meet in the group phase. Right, let's get your comments in. Get your questions in. Brazil, concentration gone. They're just mucking around. Yeah, this is the thing with Brazil, isn't it? Because you can imagine like a Jose Mourinho going, what you're doing, you should be scoring 12 goals in this game. And if you don't, it's a failure. Don't mess about. If there's chances, square it, score and move on and break a record and go down in history and all of that stuff. But the Brazilian way is kind of the flamboyance and the flair, isn't it? So, yeah. Do you think that Brazil will shut up shop in the second half out of respect? Boca, no. I think they would at 6 or 7, but not at 4. No, I think they'll think about laying down the marker. Obviously, the Spanish got 7, didn't they, against the Costa Ricans? Only a couple of days into the tournament, didn't they? So, it's when it gets up at 7 and then you look, if it goes to 8, that's when teams tend to go, look, come on, stop now. David, if we don't see any subs after halftime from Brazil, I'll be gobsmacked. You'd think we would see some, wouldn't you? I'm off for a halftime cup of tea and a sweet mince pie. Anyone a brew? Very nice. I might grab myself a drink in a minute also. I think, let's pretend we scored a goal. I'm sure they've got their own version of that for sure. Really good job with the commentary video today. Oh, thank you, Wenlock. Yeah, check that out on the Wenlock, your villa, aren't you? So that sort of rough part of the world, isn't it? And some interesting noise coming out of Coventry today. I mean, the news is broken today, but we think it happened on Friday that the Fraser Group, the new owners of the CBS Stadium, or rather, I've been reading about this all day, as you can hear, rather than the 3 companies that bought. I'm so interested in what Roy Keane's take on the dancing is going to be. See, Roy Keane will absolutely hate that they've been messing around, won't he? He'll be affronted by it, which would be quite amusing, I guess, if he goes into character. But yeah, thank you, Wenlock. Be harsh on Korea, but honestly, I'd like to see them push on. No one wants to. True. They've shown no signs, Hamza, that they're going to sit back, are they? ITV are just showing the goals again. Here's the first one. And the strange thing is the first 2 goals actually came from mistakes. It wasn't Brazil taking the mickey. So there is that when it comes to, if an England or a Croatia or whoever has to play the Brazilians, there is that side of it that the fullback dives in. Eni Aluko is laughing heartily at Roy Keane. I assume he's having a pop at them for the silly dancing. And I'm sure Eni Aluko is having a... I'll have to watch this back with the sound on at some point. It looks very entertaining to me. But, the left back diving in and then a really silly penalty, wasn't it, on Richarlison. What do we got here? They've been crap since they scored their full goal. Well, they've been good in the respect, Peck and Poet, that they've made about another 3 blooming one-on-ones, haven't they, since then? But it has been very take the mickey last 5 minutes at the sports hall playing 6 aside, hasn't it? But do you think Neymar will come out for the second half? I do, actually, Mike. I do. I think there's some ego at play there, perhaps. He's going to want to stay on and showboat and maybe try and score another goal. How many does Neymar need to catch up with Mbappe? Don't worry about Neymar. It's Richarlison who's got 3. He's only 2 behind. I think, did Neymar scored in 2 of the games? Or did he score in the first game, Neymar? I can't even remember. I don't think he did he? It was Richarlison, and then he got injured. So I think he's only got the one. Will Croatia have much left in the tank after playing extra time? Well, they certainly have less left in the tank than Brazil are, who have pretty much already won, haven't they? Kidding, yeah. Listening to you on a pier in northern Spain. Thank you, everybody, wherever you're listening. I am going to have a comfort break and go and grab myself a drink. There is the dancing again. Hopefully, we'll get close up of Roy Keane's face, looking very, very grumpy about that. He absolutely hates it. And I love that he hates it as well. What a curmudgeon. There we go. Him and Souness in the ITV studio here. What I probably would agree with Keane and Souness is that the slapdash finishing, for goodness sake, after they went 4-0 up, I hadn't realised how far Paqueta had run onto the back of the play from. And there's some more dancing. They love it, don't they? Oh, tremendous. Right. Guys, I'm going to go and take a comfort break, and I will see you back in a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Should I try and do a proper DJ move? Fade the music out. How was that? It's my DJ chops there. I think it's still playing in the background now, and I don't know how to stop it. There we go. Welcome back, guys. It is Brazil 4, South Korea 0 at halftime. I suspect the second half is going to turn into a Q&A as Brazil ping the ball about and try and score with Rabona every 5 minutes or something. But yeah, Brazil look well on course to be going through. In fact, get your comments in. Should we get the bracket up and we'll see where we stand with the actual picture updated? There we go. I don't want to donate to you, Wikipedia, which is probably a good moment for me, having told Wikipedia I won't be donating to them, to ask if you do want to support, you can via Super Chat. Oh, the hypocrisy of it all. So there is the bracket from top to bottom there in the quarters. It's going to be Netherlands, Argentina, a storied matchup, as we keep calling it. Croatia, let's just say Croatia v Brazil. They are 4-0 up. They are going to win. England versus France on Saturday night. Could get an Iberian super clash between Spain and Portugal, possibly. But Morocco are good. So is Switzerland, actually. So I think a couple of people have said it. Maybe tomorrow is the day if you want a surprise. Because you sure as hell ain't getting one in this game. Is all I will say to that. Brazil absolutely rampant in that first half. 4-0 up, could be 6-7 fairly easily. 3 big chances missed on top of the ones that they did indeed score. Let's have a look at some comments here. Bank holiday here tomorrow. Just finished work. Any chance of a resume of the Japan game? I'm sure someone will get that to you in the chat. I didn't watch it, actually. I was being a parent at that point, but Japan going through against the Croats. Sorry, Croats going through against Japan earlier in the day. Must say, I hate stuttering runs in penalty. Surely if they're going to punish the keeper for leaving the line too quickly, they have to stop the stuttered penalty. I think as long as you don't stop, you can stutter as many times as you like, can't you? So it's one of those where, I mean, personally, I don't get what advantage it gives you. Big kind of game of chicken with the keeper, isn't it? Cat up. Why? Really annoying when it doesn't work too, isn't it? Looks very silly, doesn't it? Mike, last time Brazil scored 4 in the first half of a World Cup game was against Mexico in 54. Worth. Ian, have you missed anything? You've missed the Brazilians banging in loads of goals and then missing loads of chances as well. Goodness me. If Wikipedia get themselves a solid YouTube channel, maybe, well, that covers the EFL Championship. We are back. It's 4-0. We just kicked off the second half. Hospitality are going to be in there for about another 10 minutes in a game like this, aren't they? And, well, let me put the banner back up. No substitutions for those people kind of questioning whether, is Rafinha? Brazil are in already. Rafinha... And the pattern continues of Brazil not being very clinical. They've gone from being the most clinical couple of goals you'll see to the least clinical side in the known universe within the space of the same game here. But let's try and do the teams for you real nice and quickly. There is your Brazilian team on the left. Alisson, Militao, Marquinhos, Silva, Danilo, Paqueta, Casemiro, Rafinha, Neymar, Vinicius, Richarlison. For the Koreans in goal is Sung-Kyu Kim. Right back, Moon-Hwang Kim. Left back is Jin-Soo Kim. It's Yong-Gwon Kim and Min-Jae Kim at centre back. Yellow carded in central midfield is Woo Young-jun. Oh, and Korea are in. Oh, he's missed it, Son. Oh, goodness me. It's out for a corner. Someone's got a tackle on that, haven't they? Should have scored there. The South Koreans, let me just go through the team. Continue in. Boom Yang is in central midfield. It's just a simple ball over the top. Completely fudged there by Marquinhos. And how Son hasn't scored, I'm not entirely sure. A player of his caliber. Jae-Sung Lee is on the right. Son, as I've just mentioned, is number 10. Hee-Chan Hwang and Gi Sung Cho up top. And this very open game is staying very open. We've already had penalty box entrances and a huge chance for Korea, for penalty box entrances for both teams. within about 90 seconds of the second half starting. So whether anybody has learned their lesson from the first half or not remains to be seen. I think not. Graham, I wish USA, Australia, Japan and South Korea were going through. Well, they're not, sadly. Are you covering your face for that miss? I suspect you are, Helen. Like Spike for the stream. Yeah, do hit the like button if you are enjoying the show. A bit lower on the drama than the last couple of days in this one. So I'll say cheers to you. Probably shouldn't be drinking Diet Coke this late at night, but I'm going to anyway. Who cares? Wet the whistle. It's hard to talk this much. Go back and look how many hours of World Cup streaming we've done. My God. And because I'm out in the converted garage now, we have to have this little heater on down here, and it don't half get dry heat in here. Wonder what the team talks were like. I suspect both fairly minimal. Allison saved it. He's great one-on-one keeper, Allison, isn't he? Here is Silva. Casemiro. That's ball out right. Rafinha. Paqueta. Casemiro. Marquinhos. Vinicius. Militao, excuse me. Given away, one back, given away. Are the Koreans going to keep it? Yes, they are. Wonder how many cheers Son's crying puns we'll see on Twitter. Too many, no doubt. Imagine Brazil was discussing what celebrations to do next. They're practicing the dance, aren't they? Lovely big switch of play there out to the right wing. Hwang. They tried to work it for the fullback there. Vinicius, good tracking to be fair. And there's a big ball over the top. Rafinha's done really well to control that with his head. Rafinha into the box. 3 arriving. Rafinha gets the cross, and I think it deflects back off Rafinha. So it's going to be a goal kick. Oh, there he is, everyone. President Infantino is in residence. We didn't see him 5 minutes in. We normally do. It says on everyone's running order, we need to see a shot of President Infantino. He's gone for the black suit today. Looks very chilled at 4-0 up. To be fair, I'm sure all the TV guys and the FIFA higher-ups are going to be very pleased with the look of the last 8. All the big guns are in there, aren't they? Other than the Germans. Leia, welcome. If you press R1 and L1 at the same time, it skips the celebration and goes straight to kickoff. Is that what Mr. President Infantino is thinking? Ian, enjoyed your take on the COV situation. Yeah, thank you. I tried to be quite balanced about it, Ian. It's easy to just get outraged about things like that, isn't it? There's obviously the business side and there's the fan side, and they don't necessarily add up, do they? But yeah, let's just get it sorted, and the incredibly rich men can finish playing their games, and the money can end up wherever the money's going to end up, and a nice institution like Coventry can move on about its business in as normal a way as is possible, which is not that normal, honestly, for Coventry normally, but I think I said normal too many times in the last 30 seconds, did I? South Korea trying to get Ian Jason Lee. Look at that for Jesus. Rivaldo, Roberto Carlos, Cafu, and Ronaldo. That at one point would have been the greatest five-a-side, the outfielders are the greatest five-a-side team you could ever produce that. Goodness me. Imagine trying to get the ball off those four. I could play in goal behind those four. The GOAT, R9. And the two fullbacks that really revolutionised the position, didn't they? Cafu and Roberto Carlos. Rivaldo wasn't bad either, was he? A winner in 2002 in that absurd front three with Ronaldo and Ronaldinho. Casemiro, Vinicius. Casemiro, there's the big hulking diagonal. Is that going to make it? Nope. Rafinha can't win it in the air. Feel so sorry for the EFL clubs, especially League One. It soon needs to be a drip down money-wise. Yeah. Don't start me. Don't start me. How has the second half started? Yeah, we're in pre-season friendly mode still. And it's still 4-0, but not the most intense game you'll ever see. I'm sure we'll get... I'd imagine both teams will probably score in this half, and it will end 6-2 or something to 6-1 or 5-1 or something to the Brazilians. Rafinha crosses in, looking for Neymar. Vinicius was on the back stick. Brazil recycle. Casemiro, Marquinhos, Rafinha 1v1. Does he fancy a run? Fed inside. There's the give and go. Rafinha into the box. Lovely feet. Rafinha. Great save. Oh, there you go. Their finishing was. They're still playing on the ball. Clearly went out though, didn't it? So I should have mentioned double sub by the South Koreans at halftime. Son and Hwang on. Really good save that one though. He wasn't messing about that time. Rafinha. Speaking of R9, he has his own Twitch channel where he plays COD Call of Duty. Okay. If you haven't, I would recommend there's a couple of movies about Ronaldo, R9 Ronaldo. If you weren't around at the time, it's hard to understand how good he was. Okay, Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo have now raised the bar for everyone by doing it for pretty much 10 or 12 years in a row. But he, for a couple of portions of his career, was on that level. Neymar attempting a extravagant scoop back heel. Doesn't come off. And we're going to get a counter from the South Koreans. Keep your comments coming. Don't forget to hit like. I realise, guys, feels a bit dead rubbery this second half, doesn't it? I get it. I get it. But we'll try and enjoy it. If not, just get the chat going, hey? The slickest finish ever. He made it look dead easy. He was incredible, wasn't he? Maybe a foul there on Neymar. Maybe Ronaldo was a product of his time, though, where he did score a lot of goals where he's running through behind defences in 4-4-2 land with space in behind. Don't get me wrong, he wouldn't have struggled today, but it's just an incredible player. Haaland is now... as unplayable as Haaland is now, I would say, oh no, it's ridiculous, wasn't it? Japan v Croatia was a good one. Did we ever get to the bottom of what happened to Ronaldo? None of the movies seem to intimate that they did. Boca, is Rafinha a starter for Brazil? Barca fans here not convinced. Yeah, he was brilliant for Leeds, wasn't he? It's a big gig playing for Barcelona, isn't it? Don't get me wrong, in English terms, Leeds is a big gig, but in world football terms, Barcelona is a different level. Free kick then, Brazil over the wall, over the bar. It was Rafinha with the left foot. Poor strike that. Oh, sorry, I beg his pardon. Just clip the outside of the wall. Going to be a corner to the Brazilians, which Neymar is going to take. (57-26) gone. The game is a bit flat since Brazil swept the board and went 4-0 up in the first half. I think only maybe another goal or some subs might pep the game up a little bit now. Son has managed to win his side a foul. Why did the championship bother to pause? I assume the clubs voted to pause, did they? I'm sure someone's done the analysis of who would have been missing and how many would have been missing. Felt for the Japanese. Superb first half, ran out of steam, really poor in the shootout. Terrible in the shootout, wasn't it? Ian missed 3 out of 4. In comes the cross from the right. It's gone over Chu's head. They're going to get another go at it, although it's blocked out by Militao. South Korea still on the attack. Nicely worked. Oh, good football. Just blocked out there by Paqueta helping back. And it's back in the center circle. It's a big diag. Inside it goes to Son. Son tries to poke it through the outside of his right foot. Vinicius has ridden the tackle there and gone over halfway on the counter down the left wing. Nice ball inside. Richarlison trying to get it back to Vinicius. He's watched all the way back by the substitute, Hee-Chan Hwang. Goes back to the keeper. Cleared again. And now we are back once again with Brazil on the ball. Brazil just knocking it about the back 4. Silva. Casemiro. Rafinha on the right wing. Little one inside. Paqueta, Rafinha. He's had loads of touches in this game. Rafinha. Down the line. Danilo. Neymar. Neymar to Vinicius. Crowded out there. Chance for a South Korea counter-attack. Can he get this away? Hwang. He's been fouled by Richarlison. I have to look twice every time with the two lads. We're watching from the hard cam view, and two of the Brazilian lads, Neymar and Richarlison, have got bright blonde hair and a pretty similar build. Tend to have to look around the pitch, and if it's the furthest one forward, we assume it's there you go, they're completely level now. We assume it's Richarlison with Neymar playing a little bit further back, but crossed in by Hwang, cleared away by Marquinhos. Championship is the 3rd biggest league in the world. Makes sense to shut it down. Brazil v England final. Who do you fancy? There you go. There's the right answer. France. Player of the tournament so far, we all going for Mbappe. I think Mbappe's out in front at the moment. Maybe Jude Bellingham can overtake him at the weekend. Oh, here come Brazil into the box. Rafinha beats his man. Rafinha. Oh, goodness me. How they're not 5-6, 7-0 up, I don't know. Another 1v1 missed by the Brazilians. Rafinha, nice drop of the shoulder to get around his man. I think Rafinha's missed about three of the one-on-ones himself, hasn't he? He's just put that straight at the keeper from, I don't know, 6-7 yards out. Oh my goodness. Dani Alves is coming on. Wow. I did not expect to be sat here in 2022 seeing Dani Alves playing in the World Cup. My next question is, how old is Dani Alves? I mean, what a career he's had, for God's sakes. On he comes, 13. Bit of an iconic player. 39 years old, Dani Alves. See if we can get any career info up on him. There we go, career stats. God, how far does it go back? There you go, down the right-hand side. My God, he's been playing since 2001. 21 years. Look at that. Nearly 200 games for Sevilla. So they're into the box here. Richarlison. Richarlison cuts back and the foul's been given. Sorry, just look at those numbers. Nearly 200 games for Sevilla. Nearly 400 for Barcelona. Then sort of a handful for 33 for Juventus. Fair amount for PSG. Then nearly another 100 for Sao Paulo at the back end of his career. Did he go back to Barcelona? That's crazy. He's at Club Universidad Nacional now in Brazil. There you go. How about that? Dani Alves, everybody. Is he worth? We normally say the great Luka Modric. We say the great Thomas Muller and Manuel Neuer, don't we? We definitely say the great Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo. Do we say the great Dani Alves? The great Robert Lewandowski? I've been impressed with Richarlison, particularly he's barely played this season. Yep, he's got the gig. Number 9 for Brazil in the World Cup. You love that, don't you? Vinicius worth a shout. He's up there, isn't he? I just think Mbappe's been such a star, hasn't he? And delivered in the way he's delivered. Off goes Hwang, number 6. On comes, who was it? 8. It is Song-Ho Pike has come on. After for everyone, don't tell him your name, Pike. Sorry. Oh, it's pathetic. And I'm really aging myself with that joke as well, aren't I? Oh, dear. Alves. Marquinhos Alves. 39. Decent ball, that, actually. Is he onside, Rafinha? He's in. I wonder if the flag's going to go up if he knocks it in. Lovely cutback. Neymar sort of lets it go under his foot. I think he was going to try and let it run through the legs and then flip it back inside. Flag didn't go up in the end. I don't know whether it would have. It's normally the second they kick the ball, isn't it? But hey, here's Hwang down the right-hand side for South Korea. And now Vinicius trying to counter away. You guys were talking about substitutions. I'd be starting to pull off the likes of Vinicius and Neymar fairly sharpish. Give those boys a rest. This game is going utterly nowhere. But look, we're committed now. I'm all in. We're going to watch it, hey? They don't like it up and Captain Mannering? Absolutely not. Dear me, just smash it. Yeah, sometimes that's the best way, isn't it, hey? Keep comments coming. Keep your likes coming. It is a procession here for Brazil 4-0 up since minute 36 in this one. And it's been pretty much coasting since then. Not the most intense game of football anyone's ever seen. And I have seen many. Brazil trying to play out from the back, and you can see a throw-in. South Korea having a fair bit more of the ball in the second half, as you'd imagine, with the game state completely different at 4-0 than it is at 0-0, where they weren't really getting any of the ball, were they? Kim. It's given away. This is... I know Brazil going 3 and 4-0 up was exhilarating. But this is now turning into one of the, as I say, I won't say worst, but I'll say least intense games of the World Cup thus far. I know we got a few 0-0s, didn't we, in consecutive days in the group stages. But very pre-season friendly. This chance, great save by Alisson. Son, how's he not scored? Oh my goodness me. He's great keeper, Alisson, isn't he? Keeping hold of that clean sheet there, clinging on for grim death, Alisson. Shot was driven in. Good save. Oh, do you know it hit his own man? I wonder whether it was going in the goal. Sorry, take that back. Alisson threw himself to his right. Is it going in the goal? Oh, Alisson parries it onto him. I think he still might have tipped it. Might have been going wide. I think it hits Chu on the backside, basically. Do we think there will be any upsets in the remaining 2 matches? Feels like the biggest possibility. I know there's only 2 matches left. It's easy for me to say with hindsight, but Morocco have been good, haven't they? Switzerland beat France, didn't they, in the Euros? Knocked them out. So you never know. We could just have a mighty last 8, though, couldn't we? Of Netherlands and Argentina, Croatia and Brazil, England and France, and then maybe Portugal and Spain. Whoa. Whoever wins the World Cup from that point on, blooming well deserves it, is what I would say. Ralph, will Southgate revert to a back 5 for the French game? I've changed my mind on this, Ralph. I was certain he was going to go to a back 5 either against Senegal or definitely against France. Before the tournament started and we'd mapped it all out, and it has worked out the way that most of us mapped it, wasn't it? With Senegal in the round of 16 and then France in the quarters. But I'm not so sure now. I'm not so sure. I think it might be a 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3, use whatever language you are comfortable with. So, yeah, good question. Not certain. Double sub coming up for Brazil. I wonder whether we'll lose either or both of Vinicius and Neymar with that one. 20 to go in this one. It'd be good to see him hit the net once, wouldn't it? Yeah. Talking about South Korea, of course. I assume so. And they're on the ball right now. Switch the play out to the right. Here is Hwang. Cuts inside. In comes the cross right-footed to nobody in particular. Oh, Jim, no good. Feeling dreadful with COVID-19. Some Bloom action, the best thing to chase it away. God, man. I had it, was it last month or was it in October? In 2 days, not good. Not good, man. Don't think I'd have even managed to watch the stream, to be fair. Right, here comes a double sub. Out goes Danilo and Vinicius. So Neymar is still going to be staying on. In comes, let's just get the split screen off. Gleason Bremer, of Juventus. I think the other sub was Martinelli, wasn't it, of Arsenal? They're just showing a replay of the goal. So I think it's Bremer and Martinelli coming on. English should look at how the cricket team played in Pakistan the last 5 days. I'm sure that's a very wise reference, Stefan, but I don't have a clue about cricket, so I wouldn't know whether you were right, wrong, or or whatever. Martinelli, I like watching him. When the cameraman pans into the crowd, how refreshing would it be for them to pan into a plain-looking girl? Ian, you've outed yourself there. They do pan on plain-looking girls. You're obviously only noticing the attractive ones, aren't you, Ian? You old devil, you. Plenty of men they pan onto as well, actually. I'm sure knowing 2022 levels of diversity, they probably keep a score, don't they, of the demographic of who's been panned to and which team they support and maybe which gender they may or may not assume that they are. Goodness me. Just avoid all of those landmines in one go. Thanks, Ian. Marquinhos. Cleared away. Marquinhos again down the line, flicked on. Foul by Richarlison on halfway. We're going to get another substitute for South Korea. In comes, and it's one Lee for another. He's going to be right at the bottom of my page, is he? There he is. Kang In Lee, who does play in Europe for Mallorca. And it comes inside. Son is in the box. He's onside. Just knocked back. Martinelli, who's sort of playing down the left, wins the throw-in off Hwang. Oh, nice feed into the front. Oh, he's bobbling. Son on the edge of the box. All too tight. All too fraught, isn't it? I know it's been a game of two halves, but this game has literally been that cliche. Let's be honest, I always try and big these games up when we're doing them to try and build the sense of excitement, but second half's been dire, hasn't it? Just a pre-season friendly style. Almost could have shaken hands at half time and everyone could have gone home. But the fans have paid their money. They paid for 90 minutes. They will see 90 minutes, even though the game as a contest was pretty much done at 36 minutes. And it should have been more than 4-0 at half time, shouldn't it? Oh, Mallorca's not yet. I would go to work in Mallorca if that was practicable, Ian. I agree. I hear Rotherham's nice this time of year, though. Free kick to the South Koreans. 75-34 on the clock. Is it going to be Son with the right foot? No. It's headed clear to the edge of the box. There's a shot driven in. What a strike! Oh, goodness me. We have had some great goals in this game. And that is absolutely right up there with all of them drilled in, left-footed by Seung-Ho Pike on the half volley. Smashes that one into the top corner. It is 4-1 now to Brazil. And I think someone said in the chat, be nice to see him get on the score sheet. They have got on the score sheet now. Brilliant goal as well. Just plucks it down. Absolutely larrups that one. We're going to get a great view from the hanging camera behind the goal here. Oh, it took a deflection. I didn't notice. Who's that come off? Comes off Richarlison, doesn't it? It's still a good hit, but there's definitely a helpful deflection on the way through there, isn't there, that I didn't notice on first glance. I wouldn't say South Korea deserve a goal on the basis of today. Their tournament deserves a goal if that's not too hippie-ish thinking. That's woken some people up. Maybe. Come back. They need 3 more. Nice. If they get another in 5 minutes, maybe Senegal and Cameroon, the most colourful fans. It's a great, I love the meeting of all the cultures of the different fans, brilliant, the different colours, even the different way they chant and different way they celebrate goals and whatnot. It's brilliant, isn't it? Neymar's still in, 77 minutes in. Maybe he's trying to prove to himself or the manager and whichever way around that he can do a full 90. I expected him to be done by 65 today, Neymar, but he's still right at the centre of the Brazilian sort of strategy, isn't he? Nice feet down the left by Martinelli. Marquinhos to Silva. Slipped through by Alves, the 39-year-old, powering down the line there. He's got it again, actually. Oh, nice feet on the right-hand side there. Alves is having a lovely old time, isn't he, eh? So you're telling me there's a chance, Lloyd Christmas? I'm sure every one of us could relate to Lloyd Christmas when he said, so you're telling me there's a chance in Dumb and Dumber. We've all been there, haven't we? South Korea pushing forward, one back by the Brazilians. Hwang clips that over the top. Ooh, big chance there. And hey, maybe I would change my tune if it did go back 4-2 there. I was going to say it's been a slapdash half. I think it probably would have been offside, wouldn't he? Chu. I was going to say it's been a slapdash half by the Brazilians, but they put their feet up about 40 minutes in. It's not just the second half that's been slapdash. They've been having some cocktails on the sunbed, reading a book. Lovely stuff. Are we going to see a goalkeeper substitution? How about that? Having just made a decent save, out goes Alisson and Neymar. In comes Weberton and Rodrigo. A goalkeeper sub at the World Cup. How about that? It is Weberton, 34 years old, of Palmeiras. Excuse my pronunciation as ever. And who else came in? Rodrigo of Real Madrid. Smartly off his line there was Song Yu Kim. Brazil changing the keeper. Yeah, don't ask me why. I got nothing. I got nothing. Some sentimental thing. Brazil are like a sports car. Very fast, but run out of gas faster too. Oh, goodness me. Korea playing right across their own 6-yard box there. Maybe with all the subs now, the Brazil intensity might go up a little bit. Weberton, the only player in the squad who hasn't had minutes. Okay. Of course, they made 100 changes in the last group game against Cameroon, didn't they? So many, many changes made now by the Brazilians. Both the fullbacks out, Alves and Bremer in. Martinelli's playing down the left. Weberton's playing in goal. Rodrigo is sitting in the 10. Is he behind Neymar? Yes. Distributing the winners' medals already. Interesting. That one's clipped over the top. Chu is not on anymore, the striker. That was Hee-Chan Hwang chasing that one. Ben, there was talk of, if not a proposal, but last time we're going to have the World Cup every 2 years. I think that eventually happens, will be very lucrative for the powers that be. Well, they're kind of in competition with the Champions League, aren't they? That has the greatest players in the world every year. So you can see why they would want to do it. I don't know. Have they broken the seal now, having one in the winter? Could they go one in the summer and then one in the winter sort of 2 years later and then one in the summer? I don't know. I'm sure FIFA would happily have one every 2 years, wouldn't they? Does it devalue it, though? Make it easier if there's more. Driven across the box. Weatherton doesn't get a first touch. So he just holds his hands up and lets that one drift across and past him. Oh, look at this. We're going to get a ball speed metric. How about that? 89 kilometers an hour. I bet that useful information we are all going to forget in 3, 2, 1, and it's gone. Who cares? There is a close-up of Neymar's ankle. He looks fairly chilled. He doesn't look in any pain. Perfectly fine game by Neymar. As with most of the Brazilians, they were in third gear for the majority of it, weren't they? And even second. First at times. Martinelli. Rodrigo. Silva. Martinelli's back with Bremer. Here's Rafinha over on the right wing, who should have had at least 2 goals today, shouldn't he, Rafinha, with the chances he's had. World Cup would be less special if it was every 2 years. Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, and what would it do with the Euros? Isn't the Copa America every 2? Is the Copa America every 2 years or is that every 4? Oh, nice little slide through there, looking for Rodrigo in the 10. As we come up, 85 minutes on this glorified glorified pre-season friendly. Glorified pre-season friendly. That is a bit of a tough one to get your gums around. Oh, no, they've got caught playing out from the back here. South Korea, they've gotten away with it. Oh, Kim congratulates his centre-halves there. He got right caught out. His clearance straight against Rodrigo. They did not get punished. To be fair, the South Koreans haven't been punished for anything since minute 36. Brazil, they've just coasted through and they lead 4-1. Alves swings that cross in. Very cool header back to his own keeper from the edge of the box. Just remind you of the goal scorers in this one, way back in the first half. Vinicius, when Rafinha went down the right, that was 1-0 after 7. Neymar from the spot. Sleepy tackle on Richarlison. Neymar put the spot kick home. A couple of brilliant goals then from Brazil. Richarlison with some real bang, 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 one-touch pass, and he goes through. Don't forget he'd done 3 head-ups and 2 kick-ups beforehand as well and finished that one off. And then Paqueta, lovely goal with Vinicius chipping the ball back behind everyone and Paqueta arriving and volleying it in. Brazil could have gone 5, 6, 7, 8-0 up in the first half, I think. But they didn't. Started playing their samba games rather than racking up the goals like the Germans would have, hey? Song Ho Pike did get a consolation to make it 4-1. Bit of a deflection on it, but still a great hit from outside the area on the half volley with the left foot. Substitutions ahoy since then. We've had 10 substitutions in this game as well. And it's all very, as I said, pre-season friendly, like at the moment, isn't it? Heard talk that the format for 2026 48 national teams, three groups of 16 teams. I mean, 16 groups of 3 teams. Not sure how the format would work. Yeah. That'd be rubbish, wouldn't it, if they went around that way? And 2 qualifying out of the 3 as well. There'd be a lot of pointless games there. 12 groups of 4 would be preferable, but I have heard the 3-team thing mooted as well. Here is Rafinha. Is he actually going to score in this game? Rafinha into the box, puts the cross into the back post, headed away. Martinelli coming off the left wing. Casemiro. Little dink wide to Rafinha again. Rafinha crosses into the box. Rodrigo arriving, headed away again. Stoppage time imminent, everybody. Rodrigo, nice feed. Martinelli into the box. Martinelli beats his man, goes to the byline, clips it to the back post. Dani Alves volleys it into the ground. Got a decent hit on that. It was, who got in the way of that? Hee-Chan Hwang blocks it out, 14 the sub. We could have had a 39-year-old Brazilian goal scorer then. How about that? Speculative hit. I think probably the keeper's getting it, isn't it? But Hwang does the decent thing and gets his sort of shoulder or upper arm. It wasn't in an unnatural position. Don't worry, in the way. Rafinha with the corner, swung in. Ooh, keeper lost that for a second there. Who was it? Bremer in there, the left back. Big climb actually there. I think they're fairly reasonable in claiming for another corner there. In fact, they're totally right. Just got a nick off Kim on the way out. So the officials missed that one. We'll give him a pass. Difficult one to call, wasn't it, with no VAR to help with that. Booted down the ground. And there's a big switch into the box now. Oh, wasn't the best first touch there by Hwang. If he just managed to angle that inwards, it was a big booming ball from left to right. He would have been in on goal. He kind of went straight ahead and left him with a really difficult angle. I mean, I'm talking about him having a perfect first touch, but that would have been what it needed. Couldn't quite control the shot. We are into stoppage time now. How much do we get in FIFA? I don't know, is the answer. +4. And we've already played 30 seconds of it. Let me know your man of the match in the chat. Who have you enjoyed watching, I assume? It will be a Brazilian. And here is a Brazilian moment. Lovely feat by Martinelli. Has he not given a foul there? Interesting. Let me know who your man in the match is. Brazil now 2-1 to win the tournament. France 9-2. At least they have a consolation goal to take home. They do. And the memory of that glorious win over Portugal, the South Koreans. One of the stories of the groups for sure, wasn't it? But as we said with the upsets in the group, it's normally the big boys left standing when you get to the quarterfinals. And with France and England and Netherlands and Argentina and now Brazil and Croatia, that is seeming to be the case. As ever, Brazil and Argentina flying the flag for the South American teams and fairly well dominant in terms of European teams thereafter. Neymar. It's not Neymar, it's Richarlison, God's sake. Oh, struggling with the bleach blonde hairdos all game, haven't I? 92:05 on the clock, 2 minutes remaining of minimum stoppage time here. Brazil 4, South Korea 1. Brazil are going through to face Croatia in the quarterfinals. In fact, let's just spend the last 2 minutes. Let's do some scheduling, shall we? We'll tell you what's happening in those quarterfinals. I think, because this is the breakneck speed World Cup, I think they knock them out in 2 days, don't they? All of them. Shot driven in from outside the box. Don't worry, you're not missing anything. There you go. So on Friday, 9th of December, which is, of course, this Friday, the Brazilians actually will be going first at 3 p.m. on the Friday. Netherlands, Argentina at 7 p.m. And then, if I skip the next page, you all know what's coming. We'll find out who is in the 3 p.m. Out of Morocco, Spain, Portugal, Switzerland. And then at 7 p.m. on Saturday night, God knows what the TV ratings are going to be for that on a Saturday night at Christmas time. Goodness me. Millions of people will be watching England and France. Hopefully, could be the happiest of happy nights or the most frustrating of frustrating nights. 93:35 on the clock. 20 seconds of normal time left. Enjoyed watching Morocco. Yeah, Morocco have been good, haven't they? See if the Swiss can do anything tomorrow as well. They've had a good go at them. Can't ask for more. A bit of a hammering, though. A bit mad. Germany not in the last 16. 2 World Cups running now, isn't it? The great Germans. Normally the masters of the World Cup. And the masters of this game are Brazil. They have cruised in 4-1. It's all been... I mean, we love covering it. We love chatting together in the chat, but it's all been pretty academic tonight for about the last hour and a bit, hasn't it? With Brazil cruising through in the first half. 4-1, the scoreline in the end. Should have been more, but Brazil won't care. They look pretty hot for a while. It is, though, a situation, I don't want to disrespect the Koreans of, well, we'll see. And it'll be a harder test against the Croats, won't it, in the quarterfinals. But you start to fancy the Brazilians to find their way to a semi-final against maybe a bit of an aging Croatian team. Thank you all for joining me tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. I believe we're doing game number 2, if I've squared that with HQ. And it's good old Cristiano Ronaldo in Portugal against the Swiss. Thank you, everybody. Brilliant company as ever. I will get off and go and watch the end of the series that we've been watching. The Pele banner coming out from the Brazilians is a nice tribute there to the great man. I will see you all tomorrow. Over and out.